Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the evaporator drip pan in a KitchenAid refrigerator. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For the job, we're going to need a Torx 25 screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, a long and skinny flathead screwdriver, Phillip screwdriver, 1/4-inch nut driver, a puttey knife, and a pair of cutters. When you open up the package, you're going to get two different evaporator drip pans with different openings, diameter on the holes, a couple of zip ties, a couple of tubing clamps, a couple of screws, and a bar of the refrigerator and clay. This evaporator drip pan is located in the fresh food section underneath of the evaporator coil behind the cover panel. It collects the condensation from the evaporator coil and funnels it through the drain tube into the drip pan at the bottom of the fridge near the compressor. If the evaporator drip pan gets cracked, you will see a water pool forming at the bottom of the fresh food section. If that happens, check if the drain tube is not clogged and then replace the drip pan. To get to the part, we need to remove both French doors. For that purpose, I need to take off these covers on both sides and then both hinges. I'm using a Phillip screwdriver. I'm going to take out this screw here that holds the hinge cover. I'll lift it up. Next, I'm going to disconnect this plug and this water line. Press down on this tab. Pull this apart. And the water line, we need to use this little tongue here. I'm going to lift it up. And then we can pull it apart. Next, I'm going to secure the door. I'm going to use the duct tape and place it on. Now I need to take out these two Torx 25 screws. I'm using the Torx 25 screwdriver. Alright, I'm going to lift up on the hinge slightly. And next we can take the tape off and remove the door. The door is very heavy, that especially left side door. So I recommend you to have Matt at your house so he can help you to remove the door. Thank you. Let's take it off. I'm going to start with removing the tape on the top. Now I'm going to open the door slightly and Matt is going to help me to remove it because it's very heavy. So here we are at the right side French door. We're going to repeat all the procedures, putting the duct tape, securing it, and I'm going to use the Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to take out the screw and we're going to remove this cover plate. Alright, so I'm going to use this Torx 25. I'm going to take out this couple of screws and lift the hinge slightly. Next, I'm going to peel off the tape from the door. I'm not going to remove it completely. We're going to reuse it. And now I can open the door slightly and take it off the bottom hinge. Now we're going to remove the shelves, all four of them. Next, I'm going to pull out those both crisper drawers, just out, and then lift and slide. Same thing, lift and slide. Next, I'm going to remove this glass shelf. I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to grab it and carefully, not to break the glass, pull it out. Now I'm going to remove this support frame by lifting the front end and then pulling it out. Next we're gonna remove this chiller container. I'm gonna grab it right here. There's an opening on the side and lift it up. Next I'm going to pull out both pantry drawers halfway approximately. So I have an access to the hinges. We are going to take out the hinges. So now I'm going to use this Torx 25 screwdriver. Take out the 3 screws that holds the hinge on the left side. Alright, I'm going to remove these 3 Torx 25 screws, same as on the left side. Alright, now I'm going to pull out this pantry drawer and I'm going to remove the bean. Lift it up and I'm going to slide it out. I'm going to repeat the same procedure. Going to pull out the right side pantry drawer, grab the bean at the bottom, at the front portion, lift it up, and we can slide it out. Next, we need to remove the pantry doors. They are attached to the rails. I'm going to push this hook out and lift up on the door on this side, and same thing on the left side. And I'm going to push in the rails out of the way. Before removing this door, the left side door, we need to take out this box, and we have a plug inside that we need to disconnect. I'm going to slide the box to the side, release these 2 tabs, and pull out the box. I will use a flat blade screwdriver to open the tabs on the sides. And pull it apart. Now we're gonna push on these levers at the bottom. So we're gonna free the door. Lift it up. Same thing. Lift it up. And I'm gonna push in the rails. Next we need to remove this cover that is covering the plug for our lights, and it's on the left side of the frame. I'm going to use the flat blade screwdriver. I'm going to insert it into this slot, and I'm going to pry it open. Hold on to it and go to this side, open that, and we're going to remove it. And I'm going to disconnect the light plug here. That's our tab. Push it in and pull it apart. After we disconnect the power plug here, we need to remove this the base, the drawers base, crisper drawers. So using a flat blade screwdriver, I'm going to insert that screwdriver into this opening, push it in, and we can unlock the tab. And now I'm going to unlock this right side using the flat blade screwdriver. I'm going to put it through this opening, and I'm going to push the tab. And now I can lift up the crisper drawers base. Remember, we got the plug here on the left. Pull it out and lift it up and out of the fridge. So here we are on the right side of this frame, and we need to take out the cover so we can unplug a couple of plugs inside. Same flat blade screwdriver. I'm going to put it into this cutout. Well, it opened. I'm going to remove it. Next I'm going to unplug these 2 plugs and pull it out and press on the locking tab and pull it apart, number 1 and number 2. Next I'm going to open the freezer door. Next we are going to remove this mullion heater, that plate. So I'm going to use this putty knife I'm going to insert it into this seam here at the bottom, and I'm gonna pry out this cover, mullion heater cover. Next, I'm going to disconnect the plug by pressing down on the locking tab here and pulling it apart. I'm going to put it away. Next, I'm going to close the freezer door. So we're going to lift up this gorgeous harness, and we're going to expose that single 1/4-inch screw there that we need to remove. I'm using that same 1/4-inch nutdriver, and we're going to take it out so we can remove this whole bar. Next, we're going to remove this horizontal mullion bar, and it has clips underneath, one on each side. So using a flat blade screwdriver, I'm going to unclip it. So I'm going to insert this flat blade screwdriver right there in this opening, and push down on that clip here, and slide out the mullion bar. Then we're going to switch the sides. All right, so on the left side, we are going to repeat the procedure. Going to insert the screwdriver right there, and we're going to open that clip so we can slide this bar. All right, now we can slide that bar out. Next, I'm going to remove this central support assembly. I'm going to lift up slightly this end and slide it out. And we can lift it up and remove it. Next, I'm going to remove this limiter bar. First, we need to slide it to the left so it will go inside the bracket to clear this right end, like that. Then I'm going to slide it out, and we're going to remove it from the opposite side. You probably need to hold it, and I'm going to take it out. Let's open the filter cover by pushing it up and then let it go. And next, we're going to take out the filter. You need to push it in and turn it counterclockwise. Be careful, it may have some water, and don't put it horizontal or upside down when you take it away from the fridge. Now I'm going to remove a couple of 1/4-inch screws that holds the panel. I'm using a 1/4-inch nutdriver. So now I'm going to remove this LED panel. I'm going to place my fingers here, right where they cut out in, and just hold on to this side and pull it down. Now I need to disconnect this plug. I'm going to push down on this locking tab here, pull it apart. Now we can remove the panel. Next, we need to release 6 tabs along this cutout. I'm using a puttey knife, and then we're going to take out the air tower. I'm going to slide the top forward. I'm going to use the puttey knife here. I'm going to lift it up. Next, we need to remove this evaporator cover. We need to take out 4 1/4-inch screws, and I'm using a 1/4-inch nutdriver. And now we're going to remove the cover. It just slides out. There are a couple of 1/4-inch screws that needs to be taken out before we can move out the evaporator. And I'm going to use this 1/4-inch nutdriver. I'm going to remove this screw. And now I'm going to take out this one. We're going to disengage this drip pan from the bottom, from the drip hole. Lift it up. and bend the copper line. Don't touch this portion, only top where the loop is. And now we're gonna bend it so it would be accessible from the bottom. All right, that's enough. Be careful. And next I'm going to use this skinny flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to insert it here, and I'm going to pry this out and slide it back. And same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to repeat this procedure here on the left side. I'm going to unlock it and slide it back. All right. Next I'm going to slide the whole drip pan back. Be careful, don't cut yourself on the fins. And we're going to remove it. And be careful, don't let the evaporator coil just drop. This is the old evaporator drip pan next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. This is one of the new evaporator drip pans I choose because of the larger opening. Compared to the old one, it's close match. Turn it over, and next we're going to peel this paper off, our clay, and we're going to install it around the opening so it will be sealing the drain hole. All right, I'm going to buff it up a little bit, and I'm going to install it around this opening. All right, and I'm going to bring it into the fridge. Before installing the drain pan, we need to make sure that the drain opening is clean. All right, so I'm going to install this new drip pan. We need to lift up this evaporator, and we're going to slide it back, and we are going to put it right there and right there, and push it forward all the way. So these little clips here at the end, they lock over these sides. And now I'm going to bring the whole assembly to the rear part of the cabinet, and we're going to insert that drip pan funnel into the opening. Alright, so next we need to bend the evaporator so it will go back in its place. And I'm going to bend it on the top. I'm going to secure this assembly, the evaporator assembly, on the left side with a quarter-inch screw. I'm using a new screw, you can use an old one. Next we're going to use the tubing clamps that supplied with the kit on the right side. And I'm going to tighten this one too. The coil should be mounted, so we will have about a quarter of an inch space here between the fins and this end of the plastic bracket here on both sides. I'm going to use the zip tie to tighten the coil using that little clamp here. Alright, so I'm gonna loop this zip tie and tighten it. And now I'm gonna cut the extras using the side cutters. And make sure that the fins are all straight up and down, and then we're gonna install this cover panel. Now I'm going to install this 4 quarter-inch screws to secure the cover panel. Now I'm going to install the air tower backing. This opening here, that frame, will be inserted into this cutout. This is the air duct. Let's turn it over and I'm going to start installing it back. Make sure this on the top, the harness is out of the way. And we're going to push it back and lock these tabs here. And now it's time to install the LED panel, LED cover panel. So we are going to move that back. So this 1, 2, and 3 tabs are going to interlock with the 3 tabs at the back there. They're going to slide it in. So at this point, I'm going to connect the plug. And lift it up. I'm going to push it up so these the tabs will have a couple of clips there on the top. They're going to lock. Next, I'm going to secure this panel with a couple of 1/4-inch screws using a 1/4-inch nutdriver. And now the time to install the water filter. We've got an arrow here at the back which is pointing up. That's the direction the filter goes in. Also, we have a little plastic knob here that is also has a cutout there on the top, and it should be slide through this cutout. So I'm going to push it in. Press in and turn clockwise, 1/4 of a turn. And now we can close this filter cover. Push it up and release it. Now this limiter bar goes in. First I'm going to insert this left side in. Press it in all the way. And I'm going to slide the right side. And then we're going to pull it to the right. And now we can install this central support piece. I'm going to put it in. Push it down and slide it in. The important thing is that the bar has to be inside the cutout here. Right now I'm going to install this bar, the mullion horizontal one. We're going to place this in and just slide it evenly and press it in. Lift up on this harness and we're going to install the screw into this opening. That's our 1/4-inch screw, and I'm going to use the 1/4-inch nutdriver. Going to tighten it to secure this horizontal bar. And now we're going to install this vertical mullion heater. Plug it in, snap it on, secure that plug. And I'm going to place it in. I'm going to start with putting the top in. And I'm going to press that panel in. Now we're going to plug in this 4 plugs. And you cannot really mix them around. So number 1 and number 2. All right, now I'm going to install the cover. And I place it into the cutouts here at the bottom, bring it up, push it in. All right, I'm going to install these crisper drawers base backing. I'm going to put these the back end in first. I'm going to put the LED plug into this opening here. So I'm going to lower the base down and push it down so it will lock at the front end. And I'm going to plug this in before we're going to install the cover. Make sure it's plugged very good. And I put it inside. And I'm going to install the cover. 2 cover up that plug. Let's pull out the rails so we can install the door. And now it's time to install the pantry door. We've got these brackets here on the sides and the cutouts, and we're going to slide it into this hinge here and lock that lever. Release the lever, it locked. And the opposite side, open the lever, slide it in, release the lever. And now I'm going to plug this in. This is our control on the top. And make sure that the tabs on the side are locked. And now we're going to install this cover box. I'm going to place this tab into this slot and lock this side into this slot on the side. And I'm going to pull out the rails. Alright, I'm going to install the right side pantry drawer door. We're going to insert this bracket into this slot here, and we do it on the same thing on the other side. Alright, make sure it's locked. Alright, let's place the bin in. The rear end goes in first. Gonna push it in and lower the front end. And now we're going to install this bin into the pantry drawer. Place the rear portion in first, and I'm going to drop down the front. Now we're going to install the right side hinge, and I'm going to use this Torx 25 screws that we took out earlier. I'm not tightening those two until I'm going to place this one in, and I'm going to tighten those two. Alright, now we're going to install this hinge. I'm going to put these screws first manually. Those are old buddies, Torx 25 screws, and I'm going to use the Torx 25 screwdriver. Going to tighten. Alright, I didn't tighten those all the way, so I'm going to start with this one. This is tight, and now we're going to tighten those two. Now I'm going to close this both pantry drawers. And we're going to install the chiller container. I'm going to lower down one side, and then I'm going to lower down the other side. And now we're going to install the glass shelf frame back. I'm going to slide the back on first and lower down the front. Next, I'm going to install the glass shelf back. I'm going to put it on. First the rear end, and then I'm going to lower down, support it carefully. And we can install the crisper drawers. And slide it in, let it roll in. Angle it, slide it in, and roll in. And now going to install the 4 glass shelves. We're going to put the hooks in at the back, and then put it down. Same thing here. Hook up the back and then put it down. Alright, I'm going to bring in the door to the right side. I'm going to install it onto the bottom hinge. Need to match the opening. like that. And I'm going to put the tape on the door. All right, now I'm gonna put the hinge on and secure it. Align the holes. Yeah, there's 2 screws that goes into these pilot holes. And then align those 2 holes here where the screws goes in. And start manually. Make sure that the door is aligned with the cabinet. And we're gonna tighten it using the Torx 25 screwdriver. I'm now gonna install the cover, hinge cover. Gonna drop in this single Phillip screw. And I'm gonna use the Phillip screwdriver. Gonna tighten that screw. Alright, next I'm going to take the tape off. Yeah, okay, let's mount the door on this hinge. I'm gonna close it. And I'm gonna tape it. Alright. Next, I'm going to install the hinge properly. Alright, so I'm going to align the hinge with the holes. And I'm going to pull on the door. So align the door too. And I'm going to place this couple of Torx 25 screws in. And I'm going to tighten it using a Torx 25 screwdriver. Alright, and now I'm going to connect this water line, insert it in, push it in, and I'm gonna latch it. And I'm gonna connect the plug, push down everything, and I'm gonna install the hinge cover. And I'm gonna secure it with this single Phillip screw. Drop it in, and I'm gonna use the Phillip screwdriver, gonna tighten it. Alright, now we're gonna remove the duct tape. The door is in place and it's secured. Plug the fridge back in and make sure it's cooling. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.